Hello and welcome back to my channel. To begin with, this video is so incredibly late because my computer crashes every 5 seconds I try to edit this video. I had all the video parts recorded in time, the project done in time, I was gonna post it on time, and that just did not happen. So yeah, I've been fighting with my computer for, I don't know, the past month basically. So I did want to get this video finished before Halloween and post it before Halloween. So here's my October video, because this one is so late. I believe that my video for next month will be late. But, you know, it is what it is, and until I get a better computer, I'm just gonna have to struggle with it for a little bit, and, you know, that's fine sometimes. So, jumping into this project, I had done a couple of goddesses. I have this ocean goddess that I've been redrawing for like the past 4, maybe 5 years. And I really like the way that turns out and how, I guess, elegant it looks. So I decided I wanted to do another goddess focusing on a different concept. This one is my death goddess. And she went through a little bit of, you know, alterations, but not too many. For the most part, what I sketched is how she turned out. I did not like the, I guess the sheer robe that she had on initially. I wanted something sheer, but I did not like the way that the fabric laid or flowed around her. And so I ended up playing around in Krita, which is the drawing program I use to adjust that. I just kind of played around with some different ideas. Part of the footage got lost because, once again, I am not using a very powerful computer. In fact, it is a laptop. It is a Macbook Pro. I got it in 2013. So that is most of the struggles that went on with this piece, just fighting with my computer and trying to get it to work. And then I had, recording it was a little bit difficult as well because I am just getting into this kind of stuff, and so I recorded it on my phone, which filled up the memory in like seconds. It felt like it was hours of footage, but it felt like it filled up so fast because I was super in the zone, and also trying to work with a top-down camera is new for me since I usually just screen cap whatever I'm working on. So that was a little bit stressful, I guess, and a new experience for me. In the future, I think I'm gonna need a new setup, but once again, it's not like I'm doing this for money, I'm just doing it to motivate myself. And it's working a little bit, but I'm still having issues about getting things done on time. I'm kind of hoping that that'll change in the future, especially if and when I get a better computer. But until then, I'm making do with what I have, which is my phone camera and a really, really janky tripod, not even tripod setup. I have one of those, you know, phone holders that goes around your neck so you don't have to hold your phone. I got it as a gag gift for Christmas last year, and I just stuck my phone in it and hung it above my desk. So the camera might be a little shaky because of that too. And reviewing the footage, it doesn't look too bad, but it's also a little bit choppy while I'm editing. This is also the longest video I've made. Hopefully it uploads on time and correctly because I want to get it out the door by Monday, and right now I'm just now recording the audio on Sunday because I've been just trying to get the file itself together before I record the audio, so I know the pacing a little bit more. And, well, I guess we'll see if this posts on Monday. If you're seeing this for the first time, brand new, posted on Tuesday, then clearly I have failed. So I'm gonna jump in and start talking about the actual piece. As I mentioned before, I was inspired by another ocean goddess that I have done before, and that photo of the art I did for that is up on my Instagram if you want to check it out. It's at Rinsanityart. And I've been redrawing that for a while, but I wanted to do something new and different, but kind of with the same motifs. So I thought, okay, a death goddess, especially since I'm a big spooky person. I like bats, I like creepy things, I'm a spooky kid. I really enjoy that kind of stuff, and so I set out to make kind of a spooky goddess. She and her style is very, very, very heavily inspired by Danica Sills. I feel like I say that every single video, but she is so amazing and so inspiring, and I love listening to her and her thought processes and how she works through her videos, and she is a big reason why I even started a YouTube channel in the first place. The other thing that made me start a YouTube channel was actually Evan and Caitlin, because they were talking about how to start a YouTube channel on their podcast, and I was like, I think I can do that. And clearly it was a lot harder than I was anticipating, and I was anticipating it being fairly hard, but again, most of the problems are technical. Okay, so let's talk about her color scheme a little bit, because I had no idea what I was going to do for the colors. I knew I wanted some blues in there, some like light ghostly blues. I was leaning more towards teals initially, but I couldn't mix up a teal that I was happy with my current watercolors, so I went with this light blue wash on the hair. I did several versions of her with light blue hair, or like white hair with like blue highlights, and even going more into like more of a sea blue kind of color, and I felt that that was just a little bit too much like my ocean goddess, so I scratched that idea. I tried to play with other colors that I didn't necessarily want to gravitate towards, just so I can get an idea of different versions of her. So I did one where she's more earth tones and green and a little bit more vibrant. And it looks cool, I think, at least in the color comp, but it was not the direction that I wanted to go in. So after I had knocked some color comps around, I basically just printed off a sheet with tiny versions of the Photoshop document and kind of colored them with colored pencils or maybe a few Copics, and I was trying to do them in watercolor so I knew which colors I actually had, but I couldn't get it to print on my watercolor paper or any other thicker paper, so I had to print it on printer paper, which does not hold watercolor at all. After a few color comps, I was gonna go with just whites and blues and maybe some pale, not quite greens, but more teals. And after just kind of not really feeling any of those color comps, I took a break, and I was actually watching The Layer of Voltaire, which is Aurelio Voltaire's YouTube channel. So he has an episode on his Gothic homemaking series where he talks about his color scheme, and that's the purple and the black, and I was like, you know what? I really dig that. So I did a couple color comps with the purple and the black, and I really, really liked it, so I ended up going with that for the color scheme. I also tried a few different things with the actual painting this time. When I did my last watercolor painting, which was actually my ocean goddess, because I haven't done watercolor for a while, I found that it's like a liquid latex masking fluid that I was using seemed to change the texture of my watercolor paper in a way I didn't like, and it made it a little bit harder to blend, especially on the face for like the skin tones. So I went into this portrait basically with none of that masking fluid, and I feel like it turned out a lot better. My washes feel smoother. Granted, I do put some texture in there intentionally, and some of it will just be textured because it's watercolor, but in general the blending felt a lot smoother. It didn't seem to granulate as much, so I'm kind of disappointed that I can't use that masking fluid without seeming to alter the texture of my paper. Doing it without the masking fluid also meant that I had to be a lot more precise with my lines and my painting, and that was a little bit nerve-wracking because before I could be a little bit more free and chaotic with my backgrounds, but now that I'm not masking off the hair or the clothes or any of that, it's a lot more nerve-wracking because I have to make sure that I am not getting the background on the foreground. So other than the masking fluid debacle and just having to be super precise with my background lines and making sure not to get it on the foreground, I didn't encounter any major challenges. That's to say that it wasn't like I was super upset with the way the watercolor had granulated in places, or I don't know, I felt like certain washes weren't smooth enough. I was fairly satisfied and even, I guess, happy during the whole creative process. It was very, very satisfying, and the outcome I think is just spectacular. And I was going to add a little bit more of like that shiny silver metallic effect, but I kind of like how subtle it is. It's not super in your face or out there, and it doesn't detract from the rest of the painting. And you'll see me put those little final silver touches on there near the end, or if you've seen the Instagram photo already, then you already know where those are at. But yeah, as I mentioned before, the biggest challenges were making the video, not the actual piece. I really, really enjoyed working on this piece. I kind of want to work with watercolor more often. In the past, it's been a lot more frustrating, but I think discovering the masking fluid problem kind of, I guess, helped. It definitely helped me enjoy the process more since I wasn't as frustrated with it. And eliminating those little challenges along the way was exactly what I needed to really, really enjoy creating this piece. And of course, it's about a subject matter that I enjoyed. I like doing goddesses. I've done a couple pieces on commission that were goddesses. And I really love rendering that flowing long hair, and I love the contrast of the bluish white hair against that really dark, almost stormy backdrop. And like I said before, it's heavily, heavily inspired by Danica Sill's style. I'm in love with her pieces, especially her like October spooky ones. Like, that's what I aspire to be as an artist. And of course, the color scheme is inspired by Voltaire, and I've been listening to his music the entire time. And if you're someone who enjoys like creepy but folksy music, then check out Aurelio Voltaire. It's just really, really inspiring to me to have these artists that I can look up to and draw inspiration from as someone who is a lot smaller and a lot, I guess, not necessarily less skilled, but I guess less knowledgeable and confident in YouTube as a medium. I guess you could say less skilled because I still kind of don't know what I'm doing. I can do transitions. I can piece things together, but there's a lot of things that I just don't know how to do that I would like to learn, and I am learning through the magic of YouTube. So with this being the longest YouTube video I've made yet, I am running out of things to talk about, especially regarding the piece. I have one more story to share, and I think that'll be all, and I'll leave you to the rest of the speed paint. So, not long after I finished this piece, of course, I took my final photo shots, which you can see at the end of this video, and you can also see over on my Instagram page. And of course I tagged relevant people, because I mentioned Voltaire in this video, and in the comment, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll tag him so people know who he is and they can check out his art. And for the most part, that's what I'm doing when I'm tagging people, is just linking to those people that I have mentioned in my comments. So people like, I don't know, Made You Look, and Danica Sills, of course, Aurelio Voltaire, or whoever I happen to be inspired by that day. I'll link them in the comments of the photo or video or whatever I have posted. And I added Voltaire, and I was just scrolling through my likes one day, and I realized that he had liked my piece. And I have never geeked out so hard about anything ever before in my entire life. Gosh, I was super flustered. You can probably still hear it in my voice. I was super ecstatic. I was like, oh my gosh, Voltaire liked my art. It was very, I guess cringy, you could say. I was freaking out about it like for the first like 2 days, and obviously I'm still starstruck. So that was super awesome. And that's the last really story I have to share about that, because, you know, that was amazing for me. I know it's probably not something he was like, oh yeah, this looks really cool, I'm gonna like it. He's probably like, oh, someone tagged me. Like, I don't know. I do not know the mind of Voltaire. But it was super encouraging, and it also made me super, super happy. But beyond that, it's like Voltaire is an artist I've enjoyed since I was in high school. And I was just a wee little freshman going through my goth phase, and you know, I still have my goth phases here and there, and I still like spooky things, and I love his music still. But it was, I don't know, it was a bit like, this is gonna be stupid, but it was a senpai noticed me moment, and I was freaking out about it forever, and I still am, honestly. I'm geeking out about it. And I think that's all I have to say about this piece, honestly. It was fun to work on. I got a geek out moment. The biggest challenges were actually creating this video, and I am still working through those challenges right now. So yeah, I'm gonna pop out for a bit, leave you to the rest of the Speedpaint, which is probably like 4 or 5 minutes left, and I'll see you at the end credits. Have a wonderful day and enjoy until I see you at the end. So thank you so much for watching my video. I am still trying to become a professional YouTuber. But I'll link some of my social media, so if you want to see this post or look at it a little bit closer, that'll be in the description box. I'll have my Instagram linked as well as my Facebook and Kofi. If you want to support me on Kofi, that'd be amazing. My ultimate goal is to make money off my art, though I'm not entirely sure I'll be doing that on YouTube. I just don't know how to work YouTube. So, thanks again for watching, and if you liked the video, you know, thumbs up, subscribe, you do you. I'm not on YouTube for money, I am motivating myself to do art. Okay, have a wonderful evening, everyone, or morning, or day, or life. I am awkward, and I apologize. Bye. If you listen real hard and like the background of all of my videos, you can occasionally hear my laptop trying to take flight because it's struggling so hard to do everything.